Welcome in on this Tuesday. You're watching First Shift. I'm Kristen Strakalaitis. Coming up, VW to use Qualcomm chips for autonomous vehicles. But first, your morning headlines. Lithia Motors has outsold top-ranking AutoNation based on new vehicle sales volume. AutoNation reported selling more than 57,000 new vehicles in the U.S. during the first quarter, while Lithia reported new vehicle sales of almost 65,000. Those figures include an undisclosed but presumably small number sold in Canada. And Penske sold more than 45,000 in the quarter. About a third of those were in the UK, indicating U.S. sales of about 30,000. That would be enough to remain just ahead of Group 1, which sold 29,000. But it would trail Asbury, which topped 39,000 in the quarter, a 44% jump from a year earlier. Christian Meunier, Jeep CEO, says more than 300 dealerships will be adding Jeep showrooms in the next 2 years. During that time, stores will build distinct showrooms to highlight new models like the Grand Wagoneer L SUVs. Even though Jeep has had a recent product infusion, Meunier says some dealers aren't completely sold on the idea. Some don't realize the potential that exists, Meunier said during an interview with our Vince Bond at the New York Auto Show in April. I think very soon they will see their peers being very successful. Randy Dye, chairman of the Stellantis National Dealer Council, is converting a building on his Daytona, Florida property into a Jeep showroom. Dye, owner of a Daytona Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, said dealers who are not looking to carve out their own Jeep spaces should consider what the brand's other stores are doing in their markets. He said people like going places that are, quote, new, updated, and cool. So he wouldn't recommend being the only Jeep store in a particular area that doesn't make this investment. Looking at work-life balance, Mitsubishi Motors North America is taking a page from Silicon Valley in the contest for talent. The Japanese automaker said it will allow most of its 300 U.S. employees whose work is not site-dependent to do it from wherever they like, with no minimum number of days in the office. A grand experiment was forced on corporate America with the onset of the pandemic. And several brands, including Meta, Slack, Airbnb, and Twitter, have adopted remote-first work policies going forward. Mitsubishi North America Human Resources Chief Catherine Knight said workplace flexibility is important for sourcing talent from beyond the automotive sector. Ford aims to leverage EV growth for turnaround amid headwinds. CEO Jim Farley says the automaker still has plenty of work ahead to realize the F-150 Lightning's potential and become the industry-leading electric vehicle purveyor. For more on that topic, check out yesterday's returning episode of Auto News Now. Our Jamie Butters sits down with reporters Hannah Lutz and Mike Martinez for a discussion about Ford, GMC, and Chevrolet's EV pickups. For this week's Tech Tuesday, Volkswagen Group has set up a partnership with U.S. chip maker Qualcomm to develop automated driving technology. This was reported by Handelsblatt. The automaker will use Qualcomm's system on a chip developed specifically for autonomous vehicles across all its brands worldwide starting in 2026. This was said by the newspaper citing company sources. Sources also say the deal will cost VW about $1 billion, with the contract set to run until 2031. No, VW's choice of Qualcomm as a partner for self-driving has surprised industry watchers. Handelsblatt says they expected the automaker to join with Mobileye, its longtime tech partner. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at @first_shift. Have a great day, and we'll see you Wednesday morning.